Now that the battery system has been fully assembled and electrically verified, the next step is to integrate it into the vehicle in a structurally stable and mechanically reliable way. This is not simply about placing the battery onto the frame. It requires designing a dedicated mounting structure that can support not only the static weight of the battery but also dynamic loads such as vibration, acceleration, and impact during operation. The battery pack is one of the heaviest components in the entire system. Its position directly affects the center of gravity, which influences stability, handling, and overall driving performance. If the center of gravity is too high, the vehicle becomes unstable. If it is improperly distributed, it compromises balance and control. To address this, I began fabricating a custom battery mount. Every cut and weld had to be aligned precisely with the frame geometry. During fabrication, I repeatedly placed the battery onto the frame temporarily to evaluate positioning. This allowed me to check height, clearance, and weight distribution before committing to a fixed design. Once this structure is finalized and welded, making changes becomes extremely difficult. That is why this stage is critical. It is not just preparation, but a key engineering decision point. After confirming the initial layout, I disassembled the entire structure again. At this stage, nothing is final. Everything remains part of an iterative development process. Temporary assemblies are useful for visualization and testing, but they are not sufficient to withstand real operational loads. Disassembly at this point is not a step backward, but a necessary step toward building a more reliable system. Each iteration brings improvements, corrections, and refinement of the structure. The initial frame structure showed weaknesses under expected operating loads. Even small flex in the structure can become a major issue when combined with vibration and repeated stress cycles. Over time, this leads to fatigue and eventual failure. To address this, I reinforced critical areas of the frame with additional welding. This process was not simply about adding more material, but about redistributing stress across the entire structure. Each weld changes how forces flow through the frame, so placement had to be carefully considered. Structural integrity is not determined by how much material is used, but by how effectively loads are distributed. Once the structural reinforcement was complete, I proceeded with painting the frame. Painting is not only for aesthetics, but also serves as protection against corrosion and environmental exposure. A properly coated frame ensures durability and longevity, especially in outdoor or variable conditions. The entire frame was evenly coated to maintain consistency and protection. Now the entire system is assembled again. This time, however, it is different. The structure is stronger, the alignment is more precise, and every component has been adjusted based on previous testing and observations. The battery system, drivetrain, and frame are no longer separate elements. They are integrated into a single system. At this stage, assembly is not just mechanical work, but system integration. Every connection, every bolt, and every alignment affects overall system performance. Small errors at this stage can have large consequences during operation. Chain tension plays a critical role in power transmission efficiency. If the chain is too loose, it can slip under load. If it is too tight, it increases friction and reduces efficiency. So the tension had to be adjusted carefully through repeated testing and fine-tuning. At first, the system appears to function as expected. The cart moves and the drivetrain engages. However, under real driving conditions, limitations become clear. The acceleration is weaker than expected, and the system feels heavier than intended. This is not a failure, but it is not a success either. The system works, but it does not deliver the performance that was originally intended.
So I switched to something completely different. As a result, was exactly what I was looking for. Subscribe and stay tuned.